As we prepare for harvest, we always have challenges that we have to face. This year is no exception to that rule. Over the last few days and the last few weeks, we've had some very significant rainfalls land in the southern part of the CVA territory. These rainfalls are going to prove to add several challenges to harvest for many of us, and that's what I think we need to spend some time talking about today. I'm Keith Byerly, Precision Ag Manager at Central Valley Ag, and this is your agronomy focus video that corresponds with my article on the CVA blog site. These rainfall events that some of you have experienced in the last couple of weeks are really going to challenge us in three particular ways. So let's break those three ways down and talk about them independently. First of all, we've got the harvestability or standability of the crop that's still out in the field. As we look at what we're dealing with, we know that we've had some fields that have gotten flooded. We know that the exceptional rainfall events are going to create other issues beyond that flooding as well, though. We're going to have rots, funguses, and other diseases all affecting the plants that are still out in the field, whether it's stalk quality, shank quality, or a host of other ways. That may mean for some of us that if we wait for the crop to dry down naturally, the crop that's out in the field may be difficult or even impossible to harvest because of loss of corn going down, beans lodging, or grain just falling on the ground when we get to it. Every year we talk to you about the importance of thinking about doing early harvest, and this year's no exception. If you weigh out the benefits versus the cost of early harvest in a normal year where this rainfall isn't a factor, it often even tips the scale towards being advantageous to start harvesting while corn is still in the 20s. This year, with the stalk quality and those issues coming into play as well, it definitely could be a slam dunk to get out there to preserve profitability by getting the harvest done early. The next thing we want to look at is the storability of this crop. Obviously, the great weather that we had all growing season long is going to mean that we have some bumper crops. And the grain piles are going to be full, the elevators are going to be full, and it's going to see some lines at those elevators. So we know we've got those issues to talk about logistically. At the same time, we know that these ears are still standing upright in many fields, and that means that water's going to penetrate and go down between the shucks in the ear and set in there. This might mean that we have an exceptional opportunity to see toxins and funguses and things like that develop directly on the grain. When we see those things in grain quality, we definitely have storage issues. So scouting and keeping an eye on our grain quality is going to continue to be important this year. Just because we're done irrigating and waiting to harvest doesn't mean that scouting season is over for the year. And then finally, we've got the silent or hidden threat of compaction. We know if we go out there too early, we're going to cause damage to these fields from compaction. We know with the potential yields we see out there that carts and combines and trucks are all going to be full going through these fields, and that could really rob some yield from us next season by taking away the ability of that soil to let water infiltrate properly, letting the roots penetrate the way we want, and so on. So, while I just got done talking about the importance of harvesting early to maintain yield, we still need to be mindful that it's early on and we need to be patient. Waiting that 1 or 2 extra days to prevent some compaction out in the field can pay big dividends for the 2019 cropping season and even well beyond that. So when we look at the host of factors that we've got going out there, it's going to be really important that you keep in communication with your trusted advisor and make a plan for how we're going to harvest differently this year. We're always talking about having a plan and having a backup plan. This year, we're fairly certain those things are going to go out the window, and we're going to be on our 3rd and 4th plan on adapting to the harvest conditions, adapting to what's going on with standability and grain quality. If we are mindful of those factors, we'll be able to successfully get this crop out of the field while taking all of those plans and contingencies into place to maintain our financial standing and our financial success for the 2018 cropping season.